Good day. My name is Teresa Fredericks from Growing Businesses Using Projects. Welcome to yet another video on using MX Excel for project management. Today, we are going to show that you can do everything in MS Excel that you can do in MX Project. But this is just the first part of it. In this first part, we are entering project information through developing the Gantt chart using MS Excel. We are not going to go into the resource sheet and other things in this video. So what is our agenda? Our agenda, we make one, building the task list according to the WBS format as can be done in MS Project. We make two, using only the start date of the project to get the start and end dates of all tasks. Mimic 3, inputting any days as weekends versus MS Project only Saturday and Sunday. Mimic 4, inputting holidays and special days and creating the project calendar and color coding them versus MS Project, creating a special calendar for the project and inputting holidays and special days. Mimic 5, setting up the project timeline. Mimic 6, creating a dynamic Gantt chart. Mimic 7, using a data sheet to capture and store all information on the project that would normally be done in MS Project options. So this is part of MS Project options. In order to get this screen, you open a blank new Excel sheet, click on File and you will access the backend. You will see the word Info. Click on it and go to Properties on your right. Click on Properties and you will get Advanced Properties, and this Properties box will appear. You put all your project information in this. In here you can put general, you will see statistics, contents and things like that. But before you finish, having finished inputting all your information, click OK or it would not be saved. This is another screen of the backend. See you in MS Excel in the next part of this video. Now let's look at our first mimic, building a task list according to the WBS format. I have set it up. This is the column that is going to be used to determine the predecessor. This is the WBS code. Now I am only using one part of the project, which is planning, but this is the corporate sports day summary task. As in project, you get a summary task. So I have put up, this is a project summary task, and planning is the first sub-deliverable. So that seeing that planning is 1-1, every one of its parts going to be taking that numbering. So you have 1-1 to 111. How do we get the indent? We stick on planning because planning is now under this summary task that is the whole project. You just go into home and you go to indent and you indent. So it comes under this summary task that represents the whole project. And the tasks that are under planning, to get that indentation, you just indent it now. So it is under planning, just as it will be in MS Project. So that's our first mimic. Now in MS Project, when you put automatic scheduling and you put in the start date, it is able to calculate all the subsequent dates. With Excel, if you have the start date of each task, you are able to use one formula and you get the finish dates of all the tasks. However, if all you have, as in this project, is the start date of the project, you have to do a little more work. So the first thing we have to do is to get a table for the holidays and special days where there will be no work on the project. So I have put all the holidays between now and the 1st of August, which I believe is going to be the duration of the project. And I'm going to make a table. So I block everything. I go to Insert. I go to Table. A dialog box will come and ask me if there's heading. I say yes, and a table is created. Now I'm going to go to table name, and right here I'm going to name the table holidays. So this is the first step. So I click on it and we now have a table called holidays. Now I'm going to go to the finish date. We have the start of the project being the 20th of March. I'm going to go to the finish date and I'm going to insert a formula, a workday formula project. So I've typed workday and it's asking me for the start date. The start date of the project is the 20th of March. Before I go on, I'm going to take away one day. because Microsoft Excel, if you start a project on Monday, for 3 days it would not count the Monday. So in order to have it accurate, you're going to take away 1, and then you're going to put a comma, and then it's asking you for duration. So we're going to put the duration there and a comma, and we have created a table for holidays. So we would name the table just as it was named, holidays, and we click enter, and it is giving us the 3rd of April. And from the 20th you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It seems as if it's 11 because they're giving us the 3rd. But remember, the 30th is a holiday, so that it has taken up the holidays. And you realize it did not count the weekends. So what do we do next? We have Monday, the 3rd of April, as being the end of the first activity. So therefore, we could start the next activity on the 4th. So we're going to put the 4th of the 4th, 2023. And we are going to now go to the formula, because we have this formula here. So we're going to just drag it down to the next. So it's giving us, if it's 3 days from the 4th, it's giving us the 4th, the 5th, the 6th. So it's saying it's going to be 6. So let us do the next one. Now we cannot use this 7th as the starting day because it's a holiday. So this is why, in doing it this way, if you don't have start days, you have to keep looking at your holidays and your weekends. So we cannot start on the 7th as a holiday. We cannot start on the 10th as a holiday. We're going to start on the 11th and the 4th, 2023, which is not a holiday and it's not a weekend. And then we continue to drag that formula down, and it is giving us the 13th. So it is saying if you start on 11, 12, 13, it ends. And you do that for the entire list. Now I have gone ahead and finished it. Planning close is what you will call a milestone. So it will take the finish date of the last task. And remember, if you want to get the long date format, you're going to just go into general and you come down to the long date format. The next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to mimic the timeline. So we are going to go into here and we are going to put the start date, which we know to be the 20th of March. We're going to put that here, the 20th of March 2023. Now we don't want this long date, so we're going to go into numbers and we're going to go into custom, and what we're looking for is day and month. We're going to click OK, and then we're going to block it, and we are now going to go into this and we're going to go vertical. Alright, so we have the 20th of March. Now that we have this formatted, we can pull it right down and we get all the subsequent right up. But we don't want it to be that big. So we're going to block it and we're going to go into format, column width, and we're going to make it 3 in the width, and we're going to say OK. Alright, so we now have the dates set up to the end of the project. Now we want to know what day of the week is that. So we're going to go into here and we're going to go into function, and we are going to go into date and time, and then we're going to come down to weekday, and we're going to click OK. And this box is going to come up and it's asking us for the date we are trying to investigate. So we're going to click here and we're going to click OK. And it comes up with a 2, but dates are stored in numbers, as numbers in Excel. So you go back into numbers, you go into custom, move to general, and what you're trying to get is DDD. You click DDD and you get OK. And what it is telling you here is a Monday. So again, we want it vertical, so we're going to rotate it up. Alright, and now we're going to pull right through, and you're going to get all the days of the week. So that gives us our timeline. Now we're going to use conditional formatting to get the week ends. So we're going to block the whole area, and we're going to go into conditional formatting, new rule. We're going to use a formula, and the formula is equal to weekday, open brackets, and we're going to take this comma, then we're going to put 2 close brackets, and we're going to say if that is more than 5. But before we go, we're going to move the first dollar sign from here, and we're going to go into format, and we're going to take a pattern, and I'm taking this pattern. We're going to click OK, and you realize Saturdays and Sundays are automatically in. So that is how you get the Saturday and Sunday using that formula. I'll leave it open so that you can see. Mimic number 4 was inputting holidays and special days and creating the project calendar and color coding it. Now we have the holidays listed here, and what we're going to do is input it into this calendar. This calendar we are creating is really the project calendar because it will have everything specific to the project in it. Now, okay, so we are going to again block the whole area. I'm going to go into conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula, and the formula we're going to use is a match formula. So we're going to say match, and we are going to use this date. We're going to put a comma, then we're going to block all the holidays. So we bring in the holidays into the formula, comma, and then we put a 0 and we close brackets. But before we go on, we're going to move this first dollar sign so that it can spread, the formula can spread throughout the table. Then we're going to go to format, and then we're going to go and we're going to choose a different pattern for the holidays. Click OK, OK, and the holidays are now in. For instance, the 30th of March is Spiritual Baptist Day. That is how. Our next step is to create the dynamic Gantt chart. So we're going to block the whole area again. And I want you to stick around because I have a 10-minute for you. Now, having blocked that, we're going to go to conditional formatting, new rule. We're going to use a formula, and the formula is the AND formula. So we're going to say equal AND open brackets, and we're trying to see if two conditions apply. We're going to be looking at H3, and we're going to be saying is H3 more than or equal to the start date, and the start date, the cell reference is F4. And then we're going to go back to H3, and we're going to say, is it less than or equal to the finish date? So, let's see how that is written. So, we block H3. We say, is it more than or equal to the start date? F4, comma, and we go back to H3. Is it less than or equal to the finish date? And we're looking at G4, and we close brackets. And before we go, we're going to move the dollar sign from in front of the column reference because we are spreading it throughout. And then we're going to move it from in front of the 4 in the row reference. And we're going to go to format, and we're going to choose a color, and I like red, and we're going to say OK, OK. And you realize you now have your dynamic Gantt chart. So we go into File, and we go into the back end, we go into Info, and we go across the Properties, Advanced Properties, and I have already filled it out. It's the same format as in MS Project is in Excel. Now, MS Project has an option where you put a lot of information on scheduling and things like that. You all could format this much better than I have done, but basically you can do a data sheet, open one of the sheets, do a data sheet with the project start date, project information, schedule information, how you're doing the minimum, what units you're using, duration, everything could be on one area.